It's the week after Thanksgiving, and it's an extremely busy week so far. It's Monday, and we have the day full of meetings with team members and meetings with the military division, learning new skills. That's one thing about being an agent, is that you're constantly learning new things. And one of the things that I was really reflecting on in the last couple of days is the fact that I was able to invest with my VA loan, and that's one of the things that I think is very, very powerful. We've been having a lot of discussions about this through the military division, and how you can help veterans with investing in with the VA loan, investing in real estate, so they have either recurring income or they're able to provide for their kids in the future or pass it along to the kids. And that's really the generational wealth that we want to help build for veterans. You know, we want every single service member who put their hand up and said, "Hey, it's this hand. Hey, I am willing to put it on the line for this country, for everyone that's here in this country." And, you know, why not have a piece of land that you swore to protect? You know, you want to have skin in the game when it comes to owning part of the country. And that's what we're here to facilitate with. And what better way other than telling you my experience with investing with the VA loan. My very first property was a fourplex, and I utilized my VA loan to buy that fourplex. And this is how it went. First, before I get ahead of myself, I got pre-approved. I made sure that I could actually purchase something. So I got pre-approved for a specific amount, but what I was specifically pre-approved for was for a unit. So I had a range as to what unit I would be able to be approved for. And then as long as the rents make up the rest, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But yeah, I got pre-approved. I wanted to make sure that I could afford something and a bank was willing to lend me the money. So what I did is I looked at the actual numbers of what the rents are, called the rent roll. I looked at the rent roll and made sure that what the rents are would be able to cover a majority of the mortgage, if not more. The way a bank looks at the rents is they're looking at 75%. Okay, so let's say it's $1,000. They're looking at $750 and saying that that's going to be applied to the mortgage, not the full $1,000. And they do that for protection, essentially, for any attrition, any people that essentially leave the property, and then you have a vacant unit. It gives you the ability, the buffer, for you to be able to bring in another renter and not really have to worry about it. And it kind of protects them if you're going to be foreclosed on. So I wanted to make sure that 75% took up a majority of the current mortgage, and then I would be able to make up the difference between what the current rents are, 75% of it, and then what the mortgage would be. And the unit I ended up finding, it was around, at that 75% range, it was around $3,600, and I knew that my mortgage was going to be around $4,500 or $4,400. It seemed like a great opportunity. I looked at the unit, I looked at the area. It was a safer area in downtown LA. And it was a section where it seemed it was right next to a school. So I did a lot of searching into areas that had either potential growth or potential safety for my tenants, because I didn't want to deal with any situation that would be negative towards my tenants, and then I have to, do extra things to help protect my tenants, because LA can be dangerous at times. So this whole search, this whole situation actually took months. I looked at every single listing that came up in the area that I was looking at, and I did the numbers every single time. I submitted offers that would be only making sense at the time. Now this is 2021, and a situation where people were making offers $100,000 over asking. I wasn't comfortable doing that because the numbers didn't make sense. I wasn't going to be betting on what it could be in the future. I was betting on what it is now and how I can make potential value in the future. But it's a situation where I got to look at what it is right now, because I didn't have the funds to be able to renovate or make it better. Or I just needed to work right away. And that took some time. It took me about 3 months to be able to find the right property after submitting multiple offers. I don't know, I think I sent out like 5 or 6 different offers. But the advantage that I had was, obviously, I'm a real estate agent, so the cost of that was able to be deferred with the commissions and everything like that. So I was a pretty strong buyer in any seller's eyes. I wasn't going to be a situation where I would back out. I would know exactly what I wanted, which I did, and I had someone else backing me up, my broker, who was also helping me out with the whole situation, making sure that I was making the right decision. And that's one thing that I want to press on, is you want to have somebody who's a professional in the field that you're looking at. You want to have someone that understands what it is that you're trying to do. That's why we do so much with the veteran community, because we understand we are vets, and we want to make sure that we're experiencing everything around that. We're the guinea pigs first, and then we start doing what it is that we're advising people to do. I wasn't advising as many people to invest, and whenever I was, it was a situation where I just sent him over to my broker, because it made sense for them to work with him, because he had that experience. I didn't have that experience just yet. And then once I had the experience, after a couple months of being a landlord and living in the property and understanding what it means to actually be someone who, invests in a property, lives in it, and has to deal with the tenants and everything like that, I needed to have that experience to be able to advise people on whether or not to do it or not. And I'll be honest, I have advised people not to do it, or because it was a situation that they decided I'm going to be managing it myself, which I don't recommend, because then you get emotions, and then you feel bad for the tenant that can't afford it, but it's either your tenant or your family. And you kind of want to be objective in that spectrum, especially because the laws in California, they're protecting that tenant, not you. You are the only one that's protecting yourself, and you are limited on how much you're able to protect yourself, which is, it sucks, but it is what it is. And if you're investing in California or any of these states that are more tenant friendly than landlord friendly, that's what you're going to have to expect. You have to understand those laws and have somebody who understands the laws that is advising you through the process. So yeah, it took us a couple months to be able to find the right property, and we wanted to make sure that we had a property manager that was highly recommended. And I did hire someone that was recommended, but I didn't vet them through. I didn't talk to any of the people that they helped directly. It was from secondhand advisory. So I asked a friend of mine, like, hey, do you know anyone that's a property manager? And they sent me someone, and that person that sent me that property manager said, like, hey, this person, they liked him, and you should probably use him. I didn't talk to those people directly, which I should have. And that kind of bit me in the butt, because he ended up being the worst. He was losing checks. He was not advising me well with my tenants, and it was a situation where I was losing a couple $100 a month when I was over $1,200 in the positive after I moved out of the property. So it became a really big headache because of my property manager. I didn't vet him enough to be able to make a positive impact on my mortgage. Like, I was negative after a few months. I was like, why am I paying out of pocket when my rents are supposed to be $1,000+ in excess every single month? So I ended up firing him and hiring somebody right away, someone else who I personally vetted and I had a great rapport with. And that took a little bit of time. I mean, it took about a year and a half for me to be able to find that person after dealing with a terrible, really terrible property manager. And that's like, it comes through experience. I don't think I would have been able to understand that he was a bad property manager unless I went through that experience or vetted him through, understood, or gone through the normal process that I usually go through. I was just excited. I was excited that I had a rental property. Finally, I was doing the thing that I've been talking about doing for years, and I missed a step. And that's why we have systems. That's why we have checklists to make sure that when someone is going through something like this, that they're doing it the right way and confident with what it is that they're doing. I hope that was helpful. I know I needed this video when I was looking for a multifamily property, so that's why I'm creating this video. I hope that it's going to be something that's going to be useful for you as you're looking for that multifamily property. If you are going to be searching for that multifamily property and you need some guidance, feel free, put some questions down in the comment section down below, or reach out to me and the team directly. Everything's going to be in the description or in the first comment. I have a nationwide network, so whatever state that you're in, doesn't matter. I'll be able to help you out. The team will be able to help you out. And I will see you in the next video. I think we have another client that's is going to be opening escrow really, really soon. So we're super excited. Things are happening here in Texas. Let's go. Let's go.